Thank you all for the warm welcome. Still moved up here listening to the last couple of speakers. But if you give me a few minutes, 5 or 6 minutes here, I'm just going to cut to the chase because I want to leave you with 3 things about school vouchers that I want you to take back to your schools and to your communities this fall. And those 3 things are: I want to give you a name, and I want to give you a place, and I want to give you a time. So let's start with that name. If we're talking about vouchers, we have to talk about Betsy DeVos. I know. But Betsy DeVos and I actually have 2 things in common. We both live in Michigan, and we both know school vouchers have devastating academic results for kids. It's true. Back in 2019, when she was a public official, she had to answer for awful voucher results over in Louisiana. And she admitted that voucher scheme was, and I quote, "not very well conceived." She's still pushing for vouchers anyway today. Because for people like Betsy DeVos, it's not about results for kids and families. It's about a right-wing agenda where billionaires get what they want and everyone else is on their own. Now, I mentioned Michigan. When Betsy DeVos was in charge of Michigan's Republican Party, do you know what she said the problem with Michigan's economy was? She said the problem with Michigan's economy was that our workers are paid too much. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't need any lectures about fixing American education from a bunch of billionaires who think the way to fix the American economy is to cut worker pay. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is a place, and that's the U.S. Capitol. If you haven't seen the Capitol in person in a while, chances are the last time you saw it on television was January 6th, 2021. Did you know that some of the same dark money funders who backed election denial in this country and are backing new rules making it harder to vote, some of those same groups are trying to ram vouchers through state legislatures right now? We're talking, of course, about the Heritage Foundation. We're talking about Project 2025, and we're talking about a right-wing billion-dollar group called the Bradley Foundation in Milwaukee that helped start the first voucher scheme in that city and funded the first Supreme Court case that blessed vouchers way back in 2002. And now they're doing it with election denial today. And so the third and the final thing I want to talk to you about is a time. And that time is a hot week in June 2022. Just over 2 years ago, when 6 right-wing Supreme Court justices rolled back more than 50 years of progress to strip away reproductive freedom for half the people in this country. One of the worst decisions in American history. We just heard how it affected folks here today. But did you know that just 3 days earlier, those same 6 justices actually expanded the rights of right-wing religious schools to take taxpayer money with school vouchers? That decision, called Carson v. Macon, built off earlier court rulings to say not only can vouchers pay tuition for academic lessons at religious schools, but can fund religious education in those schools too. And just like they didn't stop at destroying Roe versus Wade, they're now coming for contraception too, as we all know. Just like they didn't stop at Roe versus Wade, they're not done yet on vouchers. Because Betsy DeVos herself has said the end goal is a Supreme Court ruling in the near future that would make vouchers mandatory in every state. The voucher attack is part of the same right-wing agenda as the attacks on reproductive freedom, and attacks on worker pay, and attacks on free and fair elections. Because none of this stuff is really about freedom at all. It's about remaking our country in the image of Christian nationalism, where it's only freedom for people like Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Sammy Alito, and let's be honest, people like me, white, Christian, and male. The voucher push is about destroying our public schools and weakening our democracy. It's that simple. Now, my time up here is up, but when I leave the stage and when I leave Houston, I'll just be getting started talking about all of this, fighting against it. And I hope all of you will be as well. So thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your week and travel safely. Thank you.
I want people. Josh, what's your Twitter?
It's my name.
It's up there.
There you go.
This is our amazing tech staff, thank you, who have all of this. I want people who care about this, follow Josh's Twitter. We have just started a new organization that Josh is going to be leading so that we can ensure that people know what's really going on with vouchers and how they're being used to eradicate public education in this country. So I just want to say to Josh, he's been doing this work for a long time. He gets smeared all the time. He has a new book coming out in September called Privatization, right?
The Privateers, yeah.
The Privateers, sorry, the Privateers.
Sorry.
So we need to follow Josh and support Josh in terms of the work that he is doing to support all of our children and our public schools as a public good. Thank you, Josh.